Hey everyone, Coach MAG. All right, we are going to be talking about pricing today. Here is the question of the day. Do we take overpriced listings as realtors at the beginning and then we go with the price adjustment later, or do we try to take the listing only at the price that we know it's going to sell at? And here's the conundrum we're in. We've got sellers that are not as educated in the market because it's changing very rapidly. So they're not up to date on the pricing. So they're probably stuck right now at 2 months ago pricing. So what I mean by that is like the sellers, there's tons of buyers for houses, but if the interest rates went up, okay, then what happens is the affordability of consumers has dropped. Okay, so if approvals expire, whatever the case is, somebody who can qualify for a $1.3 million house, if the interest rates go up, all of a sudden now they're approved for about 1.15, and then the listings aren't adjusting the prices. So what's happening is we're losing a lot of buyers. So you're seeing a lot of listings staying at the market here because they're just not adjusting the prices to where the consumers have had their affordability impacted. So I think it's a logical problem we're having. So if the sellers aren't 100% educated because they're still stuck on 60 to 90 day pricing, then what happens is that you rely on the agents. And there's too many agents in the marketplace, and it's not that they're doing it intentionally, they're pricing properties incorrectly, and that's usually because of one of three reasons. Either their business isn't doing very well, so they have to come in and try to get the listings at any price that they can, so essentially they're buying the listings. Or number two, they're part-time and they just don't have enough experience in it. Or three, they're newer in the market, and you know what, they're trying to catch up with pricing too. It's not an easy market. Either way, I don't think it's intentional. I think it's just a real problem that we're experiencing in the marketplace. My suggestion is taking a listing, and I would use a script that was one of my favorite scripts. It's a lottery script, and I really truly believe like it's not the seller's fault. They don't intentionally want it. No seller wants to put their house on the market and watch it sit there and do nothing. Okay, that would just be weird in this market. So sellers want to sell, but they want the highest price possible. And if they're behind the market, it's too hard in an hour to compete with other agents on pricing, as well as convince them and up to date them on months worth of statistics that we know are true. So do your best job and use maybe a lottery script like we use, which is Mr. and Mrs. Seller. Listen, everybody wants to win the lottery with pricing. I understand that. I've told you what we think we can get for your house, and I understand that you want to try a higher price, and I want to do that for you. I want to give it the best shot we can, and we have the right team in the marketing to do that for you. So here's what I'm going to suggest though. Just like a lottery, we're going to pick numbers, your numbers, and we're going to give it a shot. But like a lottery ticket, if the numbers don't get picked, it doesn't make sense to hang on to the ticket. We're not going to win. Would you agree? They're going to say yes, and you say great. So we're going to pick and use the numbers that you suggested, knowing that we recommend this pricing. We would like to ask you though, how long would you like to carry those numbers before nobody picks them as a buyer for your place? How long are we going to hang on to those numbers before we bring it to what we believe your house will sell for? How long would you like to try to win the lottery with the pricing numbers of this house? Now, what you're going to find, it's a great idea because the sellers are going to tell you where their comfort zone is. You can't guess what they're comfortable. They may find 1 week is enough. They might find 3 weeks is enough. But we can't install that on the sellers. I don't believe we should. I think that the sellers can tell us what they're comfortable with. As long as they know the risk of overpricing, I think that's the most important thing. And most sellers will come back and say a couple weeks. And a lot of agents will go in and they don't even do price adjustments in 30 days. So you know what? Having a very good understanding with your sellers in this case will work really well. The lottery script works great. You get a good consensus. Now you're on the same page. And guess what? In this market, sometimes because it is fluctuating, it's not a bad idea. But I fully believe if you're supporting their highest price that they want for the house without being completely unrealistic, of course, then you know what? You're making the seller feel that we're working together. And that's the relationship that I want. I don't want a relationship with a seller or our clients, working with sellers and feeling like it's a battle from day one. That's not the case. This should be great experience, and if they want to try a higher number and it's not totally outrageous, then why not give it a shot for a couple weeks and let them see how hard you've worked to get that price. And I think that alone shows a lot of great professionalism, but also at the end of the day, it's a great strategy, and then you're both on the same page. So if it doesn't work out, they've chosen the deadline, and when that deadline approaches, you need to sit down with them and you say, okay, we've given it our best shot. Now we've got to list it and price it to sell. Okay, so good luck with that. And again, changing market, you're going to run into this. So always have a strategy.